What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Legendary Rella, aka Rella G's, and you are now watching Space Talk presented by Launch Team. So, y'all, I was born and raised in Spanish Harlem and St. Nicholas Projects on the west side. My mom was from St. Nicholas Project and my dad was from Carver Projects on the east side. And then my dad had moved to the Bronx, so I was raised in the Bronx too. I'm technically from the Bronx and from Harlem. Everybody think I'm just from the Bronx, but I'm from both, bitch. So growing up, I was really like a good girl, like from like preschool, from like preschool to like first grade, I think. And then like first grade is when I started being more like, I wanted to beat bitches up and shit. I used to be a little bully, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't tolerate that now. Like I'm not for bullying, I'm anti-bullying. But I used to be a little bully. Like I used to run down on girls. Me and my friends, I had a group, it was called like Barbie Bomb Squad. And it was a group of like 7 girls. And we used to jump boys after school. Like when we catch them walking by themselves, like I was a bully. Like I'm not gonna lie. I used to go to girls after school and be like, I wanna fight, wait outside for them. One time I vandalized a girl's door. I went to her door and I drew all over her door. I spit on it and everything. And then it was the wrong door. It was the wrong door. She went to school saying that me and my friends did that. And then she was like, yo, they did it on the wrong door though. And I was like, wow. I was so disappointed in myself. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was a bully growing up. Everybody thinks because I'm so cute and I'm so pretty, you know what I'm saying? That I'm not really like that, but I'm really like that bitch. So in elementary school, I had a girl group called Barbie Bomb Squad. It was BBS. This was our sign too. It was this. Wait, what is this? It was like a heart with a crown. And it was me and my best friend. We created that, my old best friend, and we recruited like 6 other girls from my school. And then from there, like we used to always go to my house. Like my house was like the hangout spot, and me and my friends would just like play beats. Like at that time, that's when Nicki Minaj came out, and she was hot, and she inspired me a lot. So I used to have the Barbie chain. I cut my bangs to look like Nicki Minaj. Like I used to be in love with Nicki Minaj. And she really inspired me to start doing music at first. And yeah, me and my best friend, she would come to my house and we would like play beats and we would start writing like just random like raps in my notebook and stuff like that. And then from there, like I never took music serious. I was just playing with it, but that's when I knew like that I really liked music a lot. Yeah. Growing up, I always knew like I didn't want to be like a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer, stuff like that. Like I always knew that I wanted to do something that has to do with like being famous. Like either it was acting, fashion, modeling, stuff like that. Cause my grandma, she was a seamstress. And I grew up in my grandma's house because my parents had me at a young age. So I used to always see my grandma like making clothes for dancers and stuff like that. My grandma used to make clothes for famous dancers. So I always thought that I was gonna be like a fashion designer and stuff like that. So I had graduated from my elementary school and I ended up getting accepted to a Catholic school and fashion industries. And my whole family was like, oh, the Catholic school is better. Like I had a sponsorship and everything. But my dad was more like, I want you to follow your heart, like what you really want to do. But my uncles, they from Arizona and they like real strict. So they like, no, you got to send to the Catholic school. And I was like crying and I was like, I don't want to go to no Catholic school because I'm not no Catholic bitch. I'm like, I'm Catholic, but I'm not Catholic. I'm like, I believe in God and shit, but that's not me. So I'm like, I want to go to fashion industries. So I went to fashion industries and that's when I thought I was going to be a model and I was going to do fashion design. That's where I really learned how to sew a lot and do stuff like that. Like I was making girls' prom dresses. I was making their birthday dresses. I was doing all that. And I had a sewing machine in my house. So I was just making my income that way. And then I was not, in high school, I was not paying attention. I was not doing nothing that had to do with music. Like I used to write music in my notes, but I wasn't taking it serious at all. I thought I was gonna be a fashion designer. And then when I went to fashion school, it made me hate fashion design. I'm like, I cannot do this shit. Being in the sewing machine for too long, like I got ADHD. I don't really got ADHD, like it's not diagnosed, but I think I got ADHD because I can't sit down for too long. So I'm like, I can't do this shit. Like I don't care about like designing stuff for girls, but making it, I cannot do that. So then when I was in high school, that's when I used to write mad stuff in my notes. I was writing a song actually while they was watching the boxing game. And then my cousin's like, what are you writing? Like he just see me sitting there like by myself in the notes. And I'm like, I'm writing a song. And he's like, you write a song? You write music? And I'm like, yeah, like I be writing bars in my notes, but I'm not I don't rap. And then he was like, let me hear something. So then I just started spitting to him. He was like, yo, you actually nice. You need to get in the studio. So then when he said that to me, I'm like, oh shit. So he said, go rapping to everybody there. So I started rapping to everybody in the house. Like they stopped the boxing game and all that. I started rapping to them. They said, nah, you fire. And I'm like, I'm fire? I said, oh shit. So then I called my dad. I'm like, I want to be a rapper. And my dad was like, you want to be a rapper? I said, yeah. So my dad, like he always supported like anything I wanted to do, like I said. So my dad basically was like, oh, if you want to be a rapper, like we could do it. Like just let's go to the studio. So then I didn't even wait on my dad. Like I literally booked a session. I went to Plug Studios for the first time. That's in the Bronx. And I booked my own session, and I went with one person, and that's when I did my first song. It was called Paid in Full, like the movie Paid in Full. It was one of those type beats, and that was my first song ever. And I dropped that song, and that shit did like, I think it was how much? It did 50K on SoundCloud, my first drop. And that's like before everybody, like there was not a lot of girl rappers out when I did that. One thing about me though was that I was super shy. So like I didn't care about like recording the studio and stuff like that, but putting myself out there on social media, I was like, I didn't want to do that. Like I was like, I cannot do that. So this is before I was even popping on social media. I wasn't popping on anything. I was more like a low-key girl. But then one time I had like, I forgot, I think I was in Indiana, and I did like a snippet of myself remixing a Young M.A. beat. And I just did a video like to send to my dad and to my cousin. He's a boxer. So I did the video and I sent it to my cousin, and he posted it. My cousin's lit, like he's a lit boxer. He posted it without me knowing. Like I didn't tell him that I wanted to post that, and he posted it, and everybody like was just commenting like, "Yo, she's fire, she's hot," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm really fire!" Like they feeling me. So then that's when I really was like, fuck that. I'm not being shy no more. I'm going to just start going crazy. And ever since he posted that, I was not shy after that. Because I was scared like of judgment. But then I realized like at the end of the day, everybody's going to judge you. But that was my first time like being out there to the world. So I didn't even care. But ever since then, that's when I started going crazy. Like ever since that day, I never stopped. Like I was just all about music. Like I quit doing all the prom dress. I did a prom dress for one girl, the last girl. And after that, I stopped sewing and doing all that. And I was just all about music. So when I was with my old management, I was doing drill music back then. I was doing drill music. And this was like probably like 3 years ago. I was doing drill music. I didn't know how to make commercial music though. Like I knew how to rap. I knew how to spit bars, but I didn't know how to make like a commercial chorus that people would sing along to. I didn't know how to do none of that. When I met my new management, that's when, and I wasn't in the studio like heavy, like how I am now. I wasn't in the studio like that. I was basically just worried about performing. Like I would have one track and I would run with it just to perform everywhere. I wasn't worried about making actual like songs. So when I met my new management, he had me in the studio like every single day almost, like for like 7, 6, 8 hours. And for like 7, 6, 8 hours, I was in the studio heavy. And that's when I started, like he would tell me like, you have to make a commercial song, something that's catchy that people is gonna like catch on to. And at that point, that's when like Megan Thee Stallion was lit, Ruby Rose had came out, Cardi B, and all these girls were doing like hot girl music. And I was rapping like real bars. So my manager told me like, you should try doing like hot girl music, like talk like you're a girl. Cause I was talking like I was gangster, cause I was, you know what I'm saying? So my manager was like, you gotta get on your girl shit, like you gotta on your Kim, or your Lil Kim, Foxy Brown shit, like on your sexy shit. So then that's when I'm like, all right. So I went home. Right when you told me that, I went home that same day. I was listening to mad hot girl beats. I was putting Megan Thee Stallion type beats, and that's when I made my first song, which was, what was it? My first hot girl song, which was Savage. And that's when, So I wrote the chorus to that song, and I wrote like the first verse. And that same night that he told me that, and I sent him like a voice recording of me saying it to the beat. And he was like, nah, you see, that's what you need to do. So he was like, we're going to get the studio tomorrow, and you're going to record that song. So I went to the studio, I recorded that song, my Savage song. That was my first music video. And my Savage song was my first visual that I put out to the world for like everybody to see. And that song, like for my first video, it did pretty good. It did like 10K, I think. It had like 10, 15K. I ended up taking it down though, like once I started getting more lit. And like my other songs now is hitting like 500K, you know what I'm saying? Almost got 1 million on my new song. But that song, for my first song, it did 10K. So it was pretty good because, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to get 1K on YouTube. So yeah. So ever since I did that song, I just kept on with my hot girl shit. And my first Savage music video shoot, that shit was crazy because my manager had rented out a spot for me. It was a big ass spot. And I had invited mad girls on Instagram. I'm like, I need all the bad bitches with me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's what the niggas like to see. So I was inviting mad girls. I'm like, put us to my video shoot, put us to my video shoot. I come inside. I didn't think everybody was really going to put up. There was like mad bitches. I'm like, oh shit, they had thongs on, their ass out. I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, all right. So then they started playing the song, whatever. I'm always late to everything. I was mad late to that video shoot. So I had to like rush it real quick. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm over here like trying to do everything mad fast. So then it was like a countertop like this. I would never forget that shit because That shit, I think I still gotta pay that shit to this day. So I was standing on top of the countertop and the light, it was like a light hanging down. And my dumb ass, that's when I used to twerk. See, I don't twerk no more, but that's when I used to twerk. I was shaking my ass. So I thought that, I don't know what, I was so into the video, I thought that shit was like a stripper pole or something. It was looking like a stripper pole. So I started twerking and I was hanging on to the shit and the whole shit just clashed and broke. Like, I'm so glad it did not hurt nobody. Yeah, Rella, twerk. And then the owner to the Airbnb, she was upstairs. She came running downstairs. She was like, oh my God. And I'm just looking, I'm like, oh shit. And then she sent the invoice the next day. That shit was like 6 bands, I think, to our manager. But I don't know what happened to that shit. I don't know. I think my lawyer took care of that. So I don't know what happened. But that shit was crazy. So after my first single drop, which was my Savage single, I decided that I just wanted to like build my own team, like when it comes to engineers, when it comes to like producers, and when it comes to my videographers and everything like that. So I could just go straight to those people that I like could build a connection with, and I could just work with. Like, I just want my own set of people, basically. So that's when my manager had introduced me, because now I wanted to shoot my second video, which is my Bougie single, and my manager had introduced me to 2 of my videographers that are still my videographers to this day, Jay and Michaelo, which is the launch team. And when I met them, and they shot my second single, which was my Bougie single, and that video was even crazier. We had the motorcycle, the jet in the back. I was looking like that bitch, you know what I'm saying? If y'all see that video, I still got that video up to this day. Like, that video was like commercial. We was in this school. We built like our own little school setup. We had the little notebooks, all the girls. We had like, I bought Fashion Nova outfits for all the girls so they could match. I spent the bag that day, for real. We had a school bus. I don't know where the fuck that school bus came from to this day. Like, they just took me outside and there was a whole school bus there. I'm like, what the fuck? But that shit was lit. So then that happened. And then, yeah, I was still going to the same studio. But then, I met them, and those are my 2 videographers to this day. They shoot all my videos. And then that's when I'm like, I need a freaking engineer now. One engineer that I like, but I wasn't really looking. I was just working with different engineers, trying to see like I felt like everything would just come to you naturally. Clearly, my manager came to me naturally. My videographer team came to me naturally. So I just kept on working. And then one day, one of my friends, they were having like a pop-up shop or something like that at a studio called Fight Club. So I went to Fight Club. They let me record for free, and like everybody was just feeling my vibe. I think they saw like the superstar in me. So they became like my home studio. Like anytime I needed to go to the studio, they like, just pull up here and I got you. So that's how I met my engineer, JB Frosty, and he's still my engineer to this day too. And I only work with him. Like, he's the only engineer that I go to. He do all my mix, my masterings, everything, anything I need, he handle that. So yeah, that's how I met my videographers and my engineer. When I was doing my hot girl music, when I had that phase, I felt like definitely Megan Thee Stallion had inspired me. Nicki Minaj been my inspiration since I first started. Mulatto, Cardi B, definitely, stuff like that. But when I started, they inspired me. But when I started doing drill music, I don't feel like I have any inspiration for like drill music. I feel like just New York in general just inspired me. Just the environment and growing up, like I was born, raised in the trenches. Like, I just feel all of that just inspired me. I don't feel like for drill music, I really have any inspiration. So yeah, I just feel like New York is just my inspiration for the drill music. But my fans definitely like keep me motivated, and my family, of course, because I want to put my family, everybody in my family, like in a better position. I have little brothers. I have 1 little brother, 2 little sisters. They definitely keep me motivated. But yeah, like really my fans, like I never just want to disappoint my fans. Like a lot of times I never really thought like, oh, I just want to quit music. But a lot of times I would get like discouraged, but I just always keep on going. Because at the end of the day, it would be dumb. Like if I start something and then I just quit, like halfway down the road, and you never know, like if you almost about to be right there, because look at me now. Like if I would have quit before, all the times like I would post videos and it wouldn't flick how I thought it would, or I wouldn't get as many views. Me and my team, we would fly out to LA, be in the fucking desert, naked, trying to shoot a music video, like go crazy, and like nothing would like actually like hit, go crazy. And if I would have quit like after getting discouraged, like after seeing my views not hit as I wanted to, or the results like how I wanted to, if I would have quit then, I wouldn't be like who I am today. So I just feel like I've never been a quitter, so I just stay motivated. My fans motivated me, my mom, my family, everybody. I feel like 2022 was definitely my breakthrough year. I had did like a whole transition, like a whole 360, like when it came to my image, what I post on Instagram, just everything. Like, cause before, like I said, I was doing hot girl music and stuff like that. I was really showing my body a lot, twerking, doing all that. But then like a lot of people around me would tell me like, forget like showing your body, doing all that hot girl stuff. Cause like I said, in the beginning, I started off with drill. Like I was doing drill in the beginning. I was doing all that rapping hard and not really talking about my body or sexual things and stuff like that. So I just wanted to like go back to how I started. Cause that's when I felt like, because that's who I am. So, so 2022, that's when drill became popping in New York. And that's when I did my first drill track again. Since it got popping, I'm like, let me just, sometimes you gotta go with the trend, what's trending. So that's when I just switched up my whole image. Like I wasn't showing no skin. I was covered up, jeans, shirt, big jackets. I went back on my hood girl shit. And I did my first drill track and it just went crazy. Like the response for it was crazy. Everybody was feeling me, my swag, how I delivered it, everything. And ever since then, like I just kept on going with the drill movement and I just went crazy. Yeah. And I just felt like also, like I had dropped my first drill track and I was thinking of ways to market it because marketing is very important when it comes like to the music industry. But I always wanted to do my stuff organically. Like I would have people hit me up like, oh, I can help you with marketing if you invest this and that. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for no type of marketing. Like I just want to market myself because I am my own brand. I can market myself. I'm crazy. I'm just hard in the head. So I'm like, I know how to market myself. So I just started using I was like, I need to like, instead of, because before I was working so hard and not getting no results, I was like, I don't need to work harder. I need to work smarter. So I started going on TikTok, promoting my music there, Instagram, promoting my music there. And then that's when I had, I was just doing like research on how to market myself. And that's when I had found out about Booba. Like, I forgot how somebody had sent me his page or something. It was like, oh, you should be on his stuff. Like, he's coming up. He's a YouTuber. He's coming up right now. And he does stuff with drill artists. So yeah, I did my first drill song and then I had hit up Booba and I'm like, yo, let's do something. Even though I checked his page out and he didn't have no drill girl on his page. Like he was only doing like drill male artists. But I was like, if I tell him, he gonna want me to be in the clean, I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? So I hit up Booba and I'm like, yo, let's do a video. And he was like, yeah, facts, let's do a video. He was with it. So yeah, I gave him my number. He called me. He told me like, yo, as soon as I come back from LA, we gonna shoot this video. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, I had linked up with Booba and he did a video telling me my music was trash.
Before I play that shit, let me control that shit.
Yeah. You better control your mouth. I don't know how to control your
chill, chill,
control your mouth when you pay the song. What happened?
Y'all bitches is broke.
Who broke?
Yo,
you. I ain't
Bella, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
What you gonna do?
My hands right, put the jury on. He put shit in my bag. I reach for it, let it do what it do.
And when we did that video, he told me, like, I never put no girl, like, a drill rapper artist. You're the first drill rapper girl I did on my page. He told me, like, you cute, though. That's why I did it, right? So he had did that video. And that video that I did with Booba, he did me and, like, two other girls. It was all three of us in the car. And then after he did that with me and the two other girls, he had did it with Asian Doll. But he posted the Asian Doll one first because, of course, like, you know, it would be better like Asian Doll because Asian Doll was bigger at the time. Well, she's big. And then he had posted the one with me second, but I was the first drill girl that he did on his page, period. And then it went crazy. Like, that video hit like 1 million. And like, I think it's like at 2 mil right now. So then when he seen that, he's like, oh, he was telling me like, we gonna keep doing YouTube. So me and him just started going crazy with the YouTube. He would pull up on me and we just kept like working like that. Like it was beneficial for both of us. A lot of people try to say like, oh, Booba made you lit. First of all, I've been lit. All my shit was getting deleted. If my shit wasn't deleted 1 million times, I would have been at 1 million followers on TikTok, on Instagram, on everything. I just, like me and Booba's relationship, like we both benefited from each other. Like we both made each other who we are today. So yeah, people with that, oh, Booba made you lit. I've been lit. And if Booba does a video with somebody that's trash, it's not gonna make them lit. People like me because they like me. They like who I am, my personality, my image, and they like my music. Nobody's gonna fuck with somebody's music just because somebody does a video with them. So yeah, period. When it comes to mental health, I would say like it's really hard for me sometimes because I feel like I do so many things. Like I do YouTube now too. I do YouTube by myself. I do YouTube with my boyfriend. And then I have my music on top of that. And then I gotta market myself because I don't have like a marketing team. I'm literally like doing everything like on my own. I don't have no label, no nothing. I'm independent. So yeah, like I have to market myself. I have to do TikToks every day. It's like a lot of things. So basically, like with everything that I do, sometimes it's not like a lot of time just for me, like to have to myself to really be able to like be like, all right, like I had to like teach myself though, like everything, like me, I'm a workaholic. Like me, if I want to do something, I'm gonna get it done. And every day I'm like, what I gotta do next and all that. Like I'm just that type of person. But then I realized like sometimes you just gotta calm down and you gotta take time to yourself and you really gotta just like, just have some you time and just take care of your mental health, because mental health is important. Because there was one time that I was like so stressed out with everything and I feel like I wasn't giving my best like to my music or to everything that I had to like. If your mental is messed up, you're not gonna be able to do things the right way, the way that you should be doing them. So yeah, I feel like now I'm more like strategic. Like I would literally set up like a whole schedule for my whole week. Like I just make sure that I don't put too much pressure on myself, so that everything that I do could just be like 100 times like I give it my all. So yeah, and I feel like with drill music and all the drill movement that's going on, like it can make you like when I listen to drill music, it make me feel kind of crazy. Like it make me feel like, you know, and I feel like the drill music definitely, like a lot of kids listen to drill music and a lot of kids like are inspired by drill artists and stuff like that. But like, I don't ever want to like portray like, oh, like, yeah, go beat somebody up, like, and stuff like that. Like I'm saying like, me, when I'm rapping about drill music, is like if you come to me like uncorrect, I'm gonna beat you up. That's what I'm saying. But like when it comes to my fans and stuff like that, like I show love to all my fans. I go to schools and I show love to my fans. Me and Booba have the like giveaways and stuff like that just for my fans, because I want like the youth to feel like, yeah, like when I'm an artist, it's just like like I am really crazy, but like it's like a persona. Like this is just my music. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's always important like to just be kind to people, because you never know what anybody's going through. Like nobody ever knows what I'm going through. You probably look at my lifestyle and be like, oh, she's super lit. She's always happy. Everything's always fun and all that. But everybody goes through their own like personal issues and stuff like that. So I like to show love to my fans and everybody around me. And yeah, like I'm crazy, yeah, but like I'm really like, people will probably see me and be like, oh, she's so bitchy, she's so bougie, and she's so aggressive and stuff like that. Like in real life, yeah, like if you come at me a certain type of way, yeah, I'ma react. Yeah, but if there's no issue, there's no issue. Then we gonna be cool, girl. Period. So 2023, I had dropped my first single of 2023, which is my Gangsta Barbie song, and that song hit 100K in a day. Is now like, I don't even know what it's at right now. It's about to touch 1 million views. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected that song, because that song, I went through a whole process with that song. Like that song, it took me a minute just to even release it, and I was promoting it a lot and stuff like that. But yeah, like the results for that song is like, I'm about to touch my first 1 million views. Like, do you know what that means? Like, when I seen that 100K in a day, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to be rich, bitch. But nah, so then, yeah, so that song dropped. And yeah, from that song, I've been getting the best feedback. Like all my songs, I get really good feedback, but that song, like that's my craziest, biggest track right now. And right now, I'm just working like track by track and just trying to get that one hit. Cause you know, just take that one hit and you out of here. Launch team.